Okay, so this is the man, it's gonna be hard. This is the video I didn't want to make. The disappointed one. I'll put a positive spin on it later, I guess. But just a lot has happened in the last like 3 days. You know, your life is, you know, you live a day, you live a week becomes a month becomes a year, and years become your life. So I mean, what happens in a day or what happens in a few days can kind of be symbolic of your whole life. It can be challenging and it can be disappointing, and you're left to wonder, you know, well, let me get specific. So in terms of the physical 8-week challenge, I started off at 159. I'm going to end up probably, I'm at 152 today. It's Friday. I'm going for my last workout tomorrow, and I'll do my final weigh-in, my final pictures tomorrow. So I'll probably be around, 151 maybe. And I started at 159. I would say the first 4 weeks of the challenge, the pre-week, and then the first official 4 weeks, so like 4.5 weeks, I did very well. Now my calories were a little bit higher. The standard was a little bit lower, but for what I expected of myself in those first 4.5 weeks, I was in that top percentile of everyone with 1stPhorm, of everyone doing this challenge. I'll be honest, I was up there, and I was on my way. And then in about the week 5 and 6, with my job, with not meal preparing, I was hitting my numbers, but the food I was hitting my numbers with was starting to be less quality. There was more Chick-fil-A, there was more McNuggets, and that's the thing, like a normal person eating Chick-fil-A would not be unhealthy. But what I was going for, the numbers I was trying to hit, and the goal that I had, that isn't going to work. That isn't going to work. And so I started kind of, in a way, I started kind of falling off week 5 and 6 with the eating. Physically, the workouts and everything, we're continuing, and we're doing exactly what they were supposed to do. But the workouts are just a part of it. There's the rest of it. There's the rest, there's the mental aspect, and there's the eating. And it started getting at me. I got down to 150.2 in week 7, last week. And then I went to Panama City Beach for 3 days. And I knew this trip was coming. And what I had planned was, okay, work hard, go to the beach for these 3 days, eat moderate, but that would fuel me up and bring me back, and then I could kind of sprint the final 4 days. And so when I left, like the morning before I left, I was 150.2. And when I came back 3.5 days later, I was at like 154.8. And I was rested, and it did sort of refuel me, but I definitely broke out of that habit of sacrifice. I honestly, I went shopping today at the grocery store, and for the first time I went down like the aisles I used to go down. And I've been so good about my food that the aisles had changed on me. Like, I didn't know where stuff was. I honestly had not gone regular grocery shopping since June. It was a new experience. I mean, it really had been that long since I'd bought cereal, since I'd bought just going down the cookie and the candy and the and the potato chip aisle, just where normal food, my off challenge food is. So the fact that I realized it had been a while, I can be proud of that. And I definitely saw improvement in this 8 weeks that I'd never seen before. Like I said, week 4 or 5, I was probably in that top 10 percentile of everyone doing this. I had definitely changed. I definitely streamlined, definitely cut. I mean, I can still see. And but the food got away from me, and the idea of kind of sprinting these last 3 days, that wasn't going to cut it. And then on top of it, the reason, part of why we call it a challenge is because while you're doing this, the rest of your life is happening too. And the rest of my life, it's fine. I was fine before. I'm fine now. I'll be fine tomorrow. But I had a couple of opportunities to elevate, and they both fell through. So instead of going from 2 great job opportunities, I went to 0. And this is all since Tuesday. And you just, oh man, if I truly want to be exceptional, it requires, it requires an effort and a sustained commitment that I honestly haven't done. And so it's humbling to be on the verge of something, to kind of get a glimpse of what greatness is, and to fall short, and to be told no, to be told you're not what we're looking for when you lay your heart out. But I also think about that what's neat about this too, and neat about this community, is that somewhere out there is someone who really put forth the effort this past 8.5 weeks. That they're taking their photos, either yesterday or today or tomorrow, and they either know they're going to win, or at least they have the feeling of, wow, I gave this 100% all the way through, and I'm either going to win or I'm going to come close, but I at least feel like I should win. And they actually are going to win. And Sal and Andy are going to know about them, and they're still not going to know about me, because I haven't earned it. So not every story ends the way you want it to, but it's still a pretty good story, and I'll learn from it. Maybe anyone who ever watches these will learn something. I sacrificed a lot this last 8 weeks. There was a lot to do a real cut. There was a lot of hungry days. There was a lot of Fairlife Core drinks, and taking reds and greens and probiotics and omega-3 and creatine and pre-workout and post-workout, and eating 1 cup of yogurt instead of 2, eating at rushing food down at 7:30 instead of at 9:30. All these little things taken over 8 weeks can make a big difference. And that's the difference between good and great. I'm good, but I'm not great. At least not yet. But yeah, like I said, this isn't the video I wanted to make, but that's the way it goes sometimes. And you know, I always tell people, if you're average, if you're you know, even when you're not doing great, if you're living an average life, what that means though is that around you, in your sphere of work and friends and family, if you're doing okay, then probably half of the people around you are doing worse. And there's people out there that don't have a job, or their kid is sick, or they're sick, or they're both sick, and they're both sick and they can't afford to be sick. You know, I mean, there's people that are going through real. This kind of challenge is optional. I'm choosing to be disappointed in myself. I'm the one that set the bar this high. No one else did. Anybody else probably thinks I'm doing great. But, so I remind myself of that. And I try to go on with a smile and on to the next goal. And so I'll take a month off. And, you know, that's the thing. Life keeps happening. So we go back to work. I set up new goals. And in terms of this, you know, beginning of October, I'll be there. I don't know what the goal is. I don't know if I'm going to cut again or just kind of bulk up and then really cut January 1st for the winter one. But, you know, somewhere out there, though, there is a winner. And they're going to have their life changed, and they're going to be celebrated for what they did on these 8 weeks. And so I say congratulations to them, and maybe one day I'll earn it. So, signing off for the Summer Challenge 2024. Right out.